High above the world, beyond the reach of mortal sight, a titan screamed into the endless sky. His body was chained to a mountain of black stone. Each dawn, a monstrous eagle descended from the heavens, its claws tearing into his flesh, its beak devouring his immortal heart. The punishment never ended. Day after day, century after century. And yet, the Titan never begged for mercy, because the crime he committed was greater than the wrath of the gods. He had stolen fire from heaven and given it to mankind. His name was Prometheus, long before cities touched the horizon, before ships ruled the seas and towers pierced the sky. Humanity lived in a fragile world of darkness. Nights were ruled by cold winds and unseen terrors. The forests whispered with predators. The mountains hid shadows that no man dared challenge. Every step could awaken unseen dangers, and even the stars seemed to watch with wary eyes as the world trembled in silence. Humans huddled together like frightened sparks waiting to be extinguished. For one thing was forbidden to them: fire. The sacred flame belonged only to the gods of Olympus. Their breath froze in the shadow of mountains, and every whisper of wind carried the threat of endless night. And upon the golden throne of heaven sat the ruler of thunder, Zeus. His command was absolute: no mortal shall possess the fire of the gods. And so the world remained cold. Lightning danced in his gaze, and the very air trembled at the weight of his decree. Even the mountains bowed in silent obedience to his will. But among the immortals lived one titan whose thoughts wandered far beyond Olympus. Prometheus watched humanity from the silent peaks of the earth. Where the gods saw weakness, he saw possibility. Where the gods saw creatures meant to obey, he saw beings capable of greatness. Yet greatness could never rise from darkness. Without fire, mankind would forever remain lost in the night. And so within the mind of Prometheus, a dangerous idea was born. A thought bold enough to shake the heavens. He would steal the sacred flame. The theft of the divine fire one night, while the stars burned like distant watchful eyes, Prometheus climbed the sacred mountain of the gods. Every step echoed like a heartbeat against the silence of eternity, and the winds seemed to whisper warnings no mortal ear had ever heard. The halls of Olympus shimmered with eternal light. Golden flames danced upon divine altars. The Titan moved like a shadow among immortals. Every step he took seemed to bend the light, and even the silent statues of gods seemed to watch his forbidden passage. The air itself seemed to hold its breath, and whispers of unseen spirits trailed him like shadows in the golden glow. Then, from the blazing chariot of the sun itself, he seized a spark of living fire, not a simple flame, but a fragment of divine power. He hid the glowing ember within a hollow reed and carried it down from heaven to the world of men. It pulsed with a life of its own, a heartbeat stolen from the gods, and its glow painted shadows across the silent heavens as he descended. When the spark touched the earth, something miraculous happened. The darkness trembled. Flames rose like newborn suns. For the first time in history, humanity felt warmth against the cold night. Fire lit their homes. Fire forged their tools. Fire awakened the future. Civilization itself had begun. The shadows recoiled as if afraid, and every eye that gazed upon the flame widened with awe and wonder. But far above the clouds, the King of Gods had already seen everything, and Olympus erupted with fury. Lightning shattered the sky, the voice of Zeus thundered across the heavens like a storm that would never end. Prometheus was seized, dragged to the edge of the world where no mortal would dare wander. The very winds fled before his rage, and mountains trembled beneath the weight of divine anger. There stood a mountain of eternal stone. Upon its cold cliffs, the Titan was chained with unbreakable bonds forged by the gods themselves. Shadows clung to the jagged cliffs like silent witnesses, and the sky itself seemed to hold its breath, waiting for the decree of doom. Then Zeus declared a punishment that would echo through eternity. Every day, a giant eagle would descend from the sky, its wings darker than thunderclouds, its hunger endless. The creature tore into the Titan's body, devouring his liver while he still lived. And every night, because Prometheus was immortal, the wound healed again, so the torment could begin once more. A punishment without mercy, a suffering without end. Yet through centuries of agony, Prometheus never cried out, he never begged forgiveness, he never regretted his defiance. Because far below his prison of stone, the world had changed forever. Valleys and mountains glowed with the first sparks of hope, and every flicker of fire whispered the Titan's silent courage. Across valleys and mountains, fires burned in human homes. Villages became cities, dreams became inventions. Civilizations rose from the ashes of darkness. Every flame on Earth carried the silent legacy of the Titan who had dared to challenge heaven. The night itself seemed to bow before the glow of progress, and the whispers of mortals carried the echo of his courage across the winds. Even now, when night falls upon the world and a single spark rises into the dark sky, some say it is more than a flame. It is a whisper from a forgotten mountain. A reminder of the Titan who chose suffering so humanity could rise from the shadows. And perhaps that is why the fire of mankind still burns today. It dances with the wind as if carrying secrets of eternity, and in its glow the courage of one immortal soul still shines for all who dare to dream. Because long ago, one immortal being proved a truth the gods themselves feared, that the greatest power in the universe is not lightning, not thunder, not even the throne of Olympus. It is the courage to defy fate, and that courage still carries the name of Prometheus. If the fire of this legend has touched your soul, strike the like, share the spark, and subscribe, so the whispers of Titans may never fade from the world.